As most of you are probably aware, the Dodgers are in Colorado at the moment. They are playing the Rockies as we speak. I don't have a score update for you. At least that's any good news at the moment. But we do have, because Dave Roberts is very busy, and through the magic of television equipment, we do have Dave Roberts giving us a few messages and answering some questions from you, the fans and sponsors. Let's take a look at the screen.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is your manager, Dave Roberts. Unfortunately, I can't be with you all tonight. We are in Colorado getting ready to play the Rockies. And I know you're going to watch it on Dodger Diamond Vision on the video board out there while you're enjoying dinner. This all-access event is something I look forward to every year in person. So we're going to make the most of it tonight. So I've got a few questions from some Dodger fans, and here we go. I'm gonna do my best to answer them. All right, from Jim Rishwain. Jim wants to know, the team is super exciting, but has had a couple of uncharacteristic losing streaks. What do you do differently, if anything, when the team has a losing streak? All right, so I think for me, my management leadership style is more when things aren't going well. I'm more of the positive cheerleader, keep the ship moving steady and not panicking. I do have kind of one-off conversations with players, pitchers, whoever it might be that might be struggling to kind of instill confidence in the players and coaches as well. When things are going really well, like they are most of the times, that's when I'm a little bit more tougher on the guys to guard against complacency. So I kind of flip it on its head. When it's not going well, I kind of pull the reins back, and when it's going well, I push a little bit harder. So because when things aren't going well, everyone's a little uptight anyway, and I don't like to add to that. So that's my answer. Okay, second one from Matt King. Matt wants to know, during the 2020 World Series run, what was the turning point or moment during that run? 2020 started, we acquired Mookie Betts that winter. And he, as it's been well documented, addressed our entire ball club day one of full squad workouts. And he was very transparent, challenging in the best possible way of how we practice and mind the little things. Where he came from with the Red Sox, and how they beat us in 19 or in 18. But really kind of put everyone on notice, which was taken in the right way. Just going through all the COVID protocols, no fans, there really wasn't much complaining from our players' side, and going through a very, very difficult time. And for me, that showed a lot of toughness and focus on whatever it was going to take to get through the season healthy, to put ourselves in a position to win the World Series that year. We were all aligned. As far as like a turning point, I mean, one obviously that sticks out is that Will Smith versus Will Smith home run in that Atlanta series. I mean, we were down and out. That was huge. I remember in the World Series, there's another one, Dylan Floro, bases loaded, Arozarena, 3 changeups in a row, punching him out. That was a big one. In that Braves series, again, that double play, crazy double play. We got those guys out at third base, and that was a funky play. The Walker Buehler down, I think it was 3-1 to the Braves, and he punched out the side in a day game. So we had a lot of those. But ultimately, I think that our guys were just not going to be denied in 2020. Third question. No name here. It says, what Dodger player would you pick for the home run derby if you had to pick one? One Dodger for the home run derby, I would say it is Max Muncy. He has probably the most raw power on our team. He's been in a derby, performed really well. It's kind of got that little upswing, little loft to his swing. So I would take Max. Last question. If you had Kershaw, Koufax, Hershiser, Newcomb, and Valenzuela in your rotation, I like the way you're thinking. That's a great rotation. Who do you pitch in Game 7 of a World Series? Ouch. Man, that's a tough one. You're gonna get me in trouble on this one. So I can't speak to Don Newcomb, the late Don Newcomb, who's a friend of mine, because I didn't obviously see him, and I know the numbers that are remarkable. Fernando certainly is unbelievable. It's hard to bet against Clayton Kershaw. I think for me, with these names right here, I would take Sandy Koufax. So usually I give a political answer and I won't give an answer. And it's kind of like they're all my kids and I love them all the same, but I'm going to say Sandy Koufax. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Have a great time. Cheer us on to victory. And I look forward to seeing you guys all next year. And here's to a championship in 2022. Thanks for all your support, guys. Good night.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 8th Annual Dodgers All Access. It's so nice to see everybody back here without masks. I'm Kathy Schloessman with the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, and there has never been a more exciting time for our city and our community than now. We have an incredible lineup of world-class events coming to our city over the next decade. Kicked off this past February by the Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium. We have the Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming here to Dodger Stadium this July. We have the College Football Playoff National Championship Game coming to SoFi Stadium in January. The U.S. Open coming to LA Country Club next June. And all culminating in the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games that'll be all over our region. And 10 days ago, Los Angeles was chosen as a host city for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. No other city in this country has this kind of a lineup over the next decade, and we continue to bid on even more high-profile events, like another Super Bowl in 2027 and a Rugby World Cup in 2031. When Stan Kroenke won the rights to move the Rams back to LA and build SoFi Stadium in Hollywood Park, we knew that once again, LA could compete for major events like Super Bowls and World Cups. Events that bring visibility to our city, which generates tourism. Events that bring economic impact that helps our residents. And events that bring extraordinary community impact opportunities. We achieved all that with this past Super Bowl. But the real excitement isn't the actual event, but it's what each event can bring to our community. It's about using the media attention and visibility that follows each of these events to shine a light and bring attention to those who are doing good work in our community. This past Super Bowl helped us reopen LA after a 2-year COVID shutdown. This past Super Bowl brought the Business Connect program to Los Angeles, giving 250 local minority and diverse-owned businesses training, resources, and an opportunity to get their foot in the door and bid on Super Bowl business. And we will continue that program over the next decade. This past Super Bowl brought our Champions Live Here legacy program, where we were able to take that media attention that comes with mega events and focus it on the 56 community organizations that were doing good work in our community in social justice, youth sports, and workforce development. Many of those organizations, nonprofits with under $500,000 a year in revenue. Those organizations benefited not just from grants, not just from the videos, the promotional videos that we provided them, but being an official part of the NFL family. In order to bring these high impact events, we needed to create a funding model to pay for the hosting obligations. 4 years ago, we created Champion LA, a private initiative designed to fulfill the hosting obligations required when bidding on these big events. With the success of the Super Bowl and being chosen a host city for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, we now have a very compelling story to tell. We've received tremendous support to date for Champion LA from individuals, from businesses, and from philanthropic organizations who see the value these events bring to our city. Many of them are here tonight, and they are recognized in your program. Thank you all for helping us launch this game-changing initiative. Events like tonight and these other major events I just talked about don't happen without the support of a lot of people, and I'd like to take a moment to thank our commission's year-round marketing and corporate partners, our Champion LA supporters, tonight's table and ticket buyers, the LA Dodgers Foundation, the foundation led by Nicole Whiteman, the LA Dodgers organization, the PR team led by Steve Brenner, the front office, the players, the alumni, our incredible emcees who show up every year, John Hartung and Orel Hershiser, our hardworking volunteers who you met tonight out on the track, the LASEC event team led by Alana Hutchinson, and our entire LASEC staff who've worked tirelessly to bid on and host these events. So whether you're here tonight because you're a Dodgers fan, or celebrating your 50th birthday, or just a fan of the impact that these events make on the local community, we're glad you're here and we thank you for your support. Please join me in a big round of applause for these dedicated people. And now I'd like to turn it over to our co-host, the Chief Operating Officer of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation, Chaitali Gala.
Thank you, Kathy, for the warm welcome. And it's so wonderful to see everyone here tonight, and welcome to Dodgers All Access. And once again, my name is Chaitali Gala, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation under the leadership of our incomparable CEO, Nicole Whiteman, who could not be here tonight. Nicole, unfortunately, is recovering from COVID, but we all know, all of us that know her, know she'll be back better than ever and stronger than ever. We're so grateful for her passion and dedication and unwavering support, which we can feel even here tonight in her absence. We are thrilled that you are here with us this weekend. Last year during Dodgers All Access, we were able to experience for the first time the center field plaza. And this year, of course, we're so excited, like Kathy mentioned, to be hosting the 2022 All-Star Game for the first time in 42 years here at Dodger Stadium. Compounding on the magic of tonight, of course, I'm pleased to remind everyone that a portion of the proceeds from this evening will be benefiting the Dodgers Foundation, so we're so thrilled for your support. Through a social justice lens, we provide the tools for youth to thrive in the classroom, on the field, and in their personal and professional endeavors down the line. To help ensure that all Angelenos have the access to opportunities and resources, we run proven programs that level the playing field and invest in on-the-ground services for the communities that we serve. Dodgers All Access is, of course, absolutely rooted in fun, but it's also about helping those who need our support the most. Because of supporters like each and every one of you, we're so excited that we're able to make quantifiable differences in the communities that often live in the shadows. So while you indulge in this exclusive access to Dodger Stadium, we hope that you can feel the incredible energy and excitement tonight. This ambiance reflects the dedication and the passion of the Dodgers Foundation staff here tonight. So big shout out to the LADF team, and of course great to see our board member John Bendheim here tonight as well too. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not thank our great partners, the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission, for their unwavering support. Thank you guys all for your dedication to creating an excellent event tonight. We're just so excited to be here all in person and celebrating. And now please join me in welcoming back John Hartung to the stage.
So in 1988, I was a teenager growing up in Woodland Hills, and I had the very, very good fortune of getting tickets to go to games 1 and 2 of the 1988 World Series. I was able to sit right over here. So yes, I was here to see Kirk Gibson's home run like I think 3 or 4 million other people were. And also, I was here for what Orel Hershiser calls the game of his life in Game 2 when he threw a 3-hit shutout against the A's. Little did I know that all these years later, I'd be working alongside one of my teenage heroes and more importantly, able to call him a friend. Orel Hershiser.
Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Everybody starting to cool off a little bit? Great to have you out here. Hope you've enjoyed your dinner. You're going to enjoy the guests we have, and we're going to introduce a few of the guys that are in the audience that were with you already, right?
Yeah, we've got one Dodger alum right here standing up on stage, and I want to introduce the others who've been here with us today. This first Dodger alum was part of that famed infield that I grew up with, playing alongside Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, and Ron Say. He had a career batting average of .294 when it truly mattered in the postseason. And this man played in more games than any other man in Los Angeles Dodgers history. Bill Russell.
Billy. John, Billy used to help me commute in from Orange County.
Did he?
Yes, I would definitely need that nowadays with the gas prices, Billy. I would still need that ride.
Our next Dodger alum had a 20-year big league career and then spent more than 3 decades as a coach with the Dodgers. Had a .304 batting average, and when he retired, he had more pinch hits than anybody else in the history of the game. Let's say hello to Manny Mota.
There is Manny. Oh, there's Manny in the back. In every team meeting, Manny was always in the back, hiding in a locker, and Tommy would always be looking for him in the first day of spring training as he introduced everybody in the room, and they could never find Manny.
Our next Dodger alum, back in 1988, because it was such a magical year, he hit 1 home run. 1 home run, the entire regular season. Then the Dodgers are playing the Mets in New York, and if I have the story somewhat correct, when he was in New York, he runs into some guy named Mickey Mantle. And Mickey Mantle says, if you're gonna have the name Mickey, you better hit like me. So what did he do? He went out in the World Series and he hit 2 home runs against the Oakland A's. Let's hear it for Mickey Hatcher.
There's some co-MVPs from the 81 World Series here.
Tri-MVPs, yeah.
And there should have been a co-MVP in 88. Mickey Hatcher should have been there.
Well, next up, a former Dodger was a 7-time All-Star, hit more than 300 home runs in his big league career, and he also was a part of the 1981 World Series championship team. I don't believe Reggie Smith was able to stick around for dinner, but let's hear it for Reggie Smith.
He's not here, so I'm not going to say anything.
No?
No.
Don't have any good stories to tell? He's not here.
I have a lot of good stories. Probably the smartest guy I've ever met as far as understanding how to break down a hitter, and still teaches great hitting to this day, no matter how the style or the kind of play that happens on the field and the different styles. I'd say Reggie can still teach it.
Absolutely can. I think he still does to this day. Our next Dodger alum spent 25 years pitching in the big leagues. He didn't hang him up until he was 46. He won in 216 games, and I know he gave a lot of hitters and a lot of catchers nightmares because they were all staying up at night trying to figure out how they were going to hit or catch a knuckleball. It's Charlie Huff.
I'm glad Charlie doesn't have a microphone right now, because Charlie would remind everybody that he is the oldest guy to ever get a hit off of me. So I stayed up late trying to figure out how to get him out. How old were you when you got that hit off of me?
46.
46 years old. Thanks a lot, Charlie. Very nice.
So you don't want me to bring up the very first game in Marlins history then?
I got an L, he got a W. He was throwing that butterfly, and we were swinging at it very quickly, and shouldn't have been. And yeah, I was overthrowing my sinker and giving up some dingers. Most embarrassing day of my life in the big leagues, Boomer, was the next day after that L. A whole bunch of Marlin memorabilia was in my locker to sign, because that was their first game in history. Charlie W. Orel L.
Our next Dodger alum, he broke into the big leagues with the Dodgers back in 1981, had an 8-year big league career, then was a manager for 6 years in the show with the Brewers and Red Sox. Now he has become the special assistant to the general manager. Let's hear it for Ron Renicky.
Ronnie will always have a job in baseball, one of the most professional people you're ever going to meet as a player, as a manager, as a coach, as somebody in the front office, and a guy that's respected all throughout the game.
Next up, this Dodger alum was once called the best throwing catcher in the game by a guy named Lou Brock, who certainly would know. Lou Brock stole a lot of bases, was also, you'd probably seen some of his acting work in the movie Major League and maybe some of his pinup work in Playgirl magazine. One of the tri-MVPs of the 1981 World Series, Steve Yeager. Everybody's going to hit the Google machine and say, Steve Yeager, Playgirl?
Boomer caught me in the big leagues. I threw my first sinker to him, and he came out about halfway out to the mound and gunned the ball back with that great arm, and he said, whatever the blank that was, throw it again. And I kept throwing it for the rest of my career.
Next up is a man who played his high school ball just down the road at Crespi and Encino, played 24 years in the big leagues. My favorite moment of his career was when he's hoisting this guy after the final out of the 1988 World Series to allow you to do your fist pump. Do you have that fist pump still with the game face on?
No, forget it. I can't even raise my shoulder.
Let's hear it for Rick Dempsey.
In the 88 World Series, we made a plan on how to get all the Oakland hitters out, and we stuck to that plan until Rick came to the mound in a big situation, and he said, they're starting to crowd the plate, Orel. I think we need to go inside. And when he left the mound, I said, all right, I'm going to believe him because your catcher is closer to the hitters. We got Canseco to pop out, and we got McGuire out, and we did go inside, and it was the only pitches I think we threw him inside the whole series.
Masterful duo, the two of you together in that 1988 World Series. Let's hear it one more time for the fantastic Dodger alums here with us tonight. Okay, right now it is time to give away some prizes, Orel.
Okay.
So why don't you first up pick the winner of the passports?
Okay.
Here's the drawing.
Eyes to the sky. And the winner is Scott Goldman. I know Scott.
Right here in the front?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
There we go.
Okay.
It doesn't say Scott Goldman, but I wanted him to win.
Or what would you say would be that you saw some people throwing some pitches in the bullpen. What would you say was the fastest pitch of the day?
I just saw a couple of young men, and then I saw another young man that I said, don't throw. He's about 17. I said, don't throw when I'm walking by. It wasn't very good. I'd say I saw 54 miles an hour, probably.
How about 79?
Well, I didn't see that person, John.
Okay, but someone threw 79.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And the winner is Rob Walker, 79 miles an hour.
Charlie, he threw harder than you. How hard was your knuckleball?
Not that hard.
Not that hard.
You can catch it barehanded.
You could catch it barehanded, Steve Yeager said. Was that after it stopped by the backstop or in the air?
Pick it up, throw it back to it.
Yeah.